On Monday morning, Evelyn Mercer arrived at the headquarters of Meridian Dynamics expecting another ordinary strategy meeting. But instead, she was greeted by a nervous human resources manager and the company's newly appointed chief operations officer, Vanessa Reed, who confidently informed her that her consulting contract had been terminated immediately because the executive team wanted fresh leadership moving forward. Evelyn calmly handed over her visitor badge without arguing, smiled politely, and simply replied, "Before you celebrate your first executive decision, make sure the board receives the governance package scheduled for this afternoon," leaving Vanessa puzzled as she walked out while employees quietly exchanged confused glances throughout the lobby. Vanessa wasted no time claiming the executive suite, rearranging furniture, approving cosmetic office upgrades, and drafting an enthusiastic social media announcement about leading the company's exciting new future, completely convinced that removing Evelyn had demonstrated bold leadership and earned everyone's respect. What she never realized was that Evelyn had spent nearly 20 years quietly designing Meridian's corporate governance system, negotiating ownership instead of promotions, building investor trust instead of public recognition, and creating a legal framework that automatically transferred operational authority to the company's principal stakeholder whenever an executive exceeded their legal authority. Across the city, every board member received identical confidential packages containing certified legal documents, historical shareholder agreements, governance records, and a formal notice explaining that Vanessa's unauthorized dismissal of a senior corporate advisor had activated a protective clause requiring an emergency board session before the end of the day. As directors carefully reviewed the paperwork, they discovered that Evelyn was not merely a consultant, as everyone believed, but the largest individual shareholder whose voting rights immediately suspended every executive appointment made without proper authorization, forcing investors, attorneys, and senior officers to abandon their schedules and prepare for an urgent meeting. When company founder Richard Hale rushed back from a charity golf tournament after receiving repeated calls from the legal department, he entered a silent conference room where the general counsel calmly explained that Vanessa had exercised powers she had never legally possessed and had unintentionally triggered governance rules that could not be reversed once officially filed. Richard insisted there had to be a misunderstanding and suggested withdrawing the termination paperwork. But the attorneys firmly explained that every required document had already been distributed to investors and regulators, leaving the board legally obligated to recognize Evelyn's authority until a formal vote could take place. Meanwhile, Vanessa noticed that the executive dashboards suddenly denied her access. Financial approvals stopped processing, and internal systems quietly rejected every administrative request she attempted to authorize, making her confidence disappear as unanswered emails and concerned investor messages began filling her inbox. During the emergency board meeting, she confidently walked toward the chair reserved for senior leadership, only to be informed that her executive authority had been suspended pending shareholder review, and moments later, Evelyn entered the room with complete composure, presenting documented evidence of her ownership before requesting a lawful vote to restructure the company's leadership according to the corporate bylaws. After the meeting concluded, Evelyn privately met with Richard and placed two proposals on the table, one allowing the founder to purchase Evelyn's ownership at a premium and peacefully separate, while the other offered a complete organizational restructuring that eliminated favoritism, strengthened accountability, and rebuilt the company under transparent governance standards. Richard quietly admitted that years of trusting personal relationships instead of proper oversight had nearly destroyed the organization, and by the following morning he submitted his resignation, while Vanessa respectfully surrendered her access credentials, leaving a newly appointed executive team to restore stability under Evelyn's leadership without public drama or personal revenge. As employees returned to work, they discovered a company transformed not by anger or humiliation, but by discipline, preparation, and respect for principles that had been carefully established long before the crisis ever began. proving that genuine leadership is measured by responsibility rather than titles, influence, or family connections. Please subscribe to our channel and share this video with your friends and family. We create entertaining and inspiring stories for our viewers, and your support helps us continue making great content for you.